everybody. Good morning. How's it going? Market is shooting down. Morning, Chris, Jennifer, Will, Enrico. How are y'all? So what I wanted to see at the open is either I preferred it to run down through sell side liquidity before heading up. However, I was okay with it. It can go either way. But let me see if we have an opening range gap here real quick. We did, but we already traded right through it. So we had our open here, close there from yesterday, opening range gap, shot straight through it. But yeah, let's see. All right, so real quick, let's go into this here and see what we have going on. Chris, you're always complaining about my sound. All right, so the daily chart. We still have, of course, that volume balance from yesterday. Now, here, let me turn off. Well, I got a lot of markings up here now. Let me turn these off real quick, see if you can see a little better. Now, we also did get this daily fair value gap yesterday. Okay, right here, right? But you have to include the volume imbalance. So what I do is I mark this with a fib from here to here in 4 quadrants. Because if we dip down into this, I want to see each quadrant. And now we also have this daily inversion here. So, which the high of the daily inversion is right about where this midpoint is here. Last week's high. So, we'll see. And then, of course, we have yesterday's low right here. So, I'm wanting to see, we have reasons still. We have a lot of buy-side liquidity. But then, of course, we have a lot of imbalances and everything to the downside. So I'm wanting to see if today, during my morning session here, if we run this previous day low, hit this daily fair value gap here, and at that point, at what point, I should say, do we potentially turn around and make a run to buy side liquidity? Obviously, we know it could just keep going down, right? But if we first stop for me is I'm looking at the sell side liquidity previous day low. After that, I'm looking at the upper quadrant. After that, I'm looking at the midpoint here. After that, if we keep going down, then at that point, I think we're going to trade right through the entire volume imbalance right here. So we'll see. That's what I'm looking for or looking at on the higher time frame for basically the daily. If we drop down to the 15-minute here, if we drop down to the 15-minute, we have, this is where I was looking at. Pretty obvious to me. We have this low, and then we came down and made a relative equal low there. All right, and then we kind of have, like we had these relative equal highs here. This took that out, ended up being the London high, and now we have fairly relative equal highs between this one and this one. So, but if you look, we have this pullback here into this 15-minute fair value gap, leaving this high, and then we made relative equal highs there. So now I have that marked as my minor buy-side liquidity right there. So from here, I want to see what we've done after 7 a.m. So I'm going to mark my 7 a.m., zoom into that. And, of course, we have this low that made that relative equal low. Don't really have anything else at 7 a.m. except for pulling into this imbalance, this fair value gap, right here. And now we've, obviously dropped down. Then I'm going to drop to my 5-minute. Anything after 7 a.m.? Nope, we still have this low. Don't really have anything after 7 a.m. into this imbalance here and dropped. So, going right down to that inversion. And then the 1-minute, same thing. I'm checking out here and seeing what we have after 7 a.m. Pretty much same thing. Hasn't been too much. Nothing real obvious. I I had kind of like this area right here in case if price did want to come down and then head up. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's I have reason to go both ways again, up or down. And right now, my goal, basically what I'm trying to do is just sit patient and let it hit these higher time frame levels and then see what happens after that. So basically that's my analysis and framework for the morning. 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 Hope everybody's doing all right. And yesterday, if y'all stayed on and watched the charts yesterday, it ended up going up to that buy side liquidity. It was just really, really ugly. Really ugly. And it took its time. It was a mess. And I don't know about y'all, but ever since the government shut down, man, hasn't been pretty. So, but I did look, and they are saying that the CPI report's going to be released Friday morning, and that's the last report until the government opens back up that they're going to release. So because of that, I'm not trading tomorrow because that's always my rule. I don't trade the day before CPI. And we still have more earnings this afternoon. So we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's been tricky with no news. You know, these news reports are they're catalysts in the market. I still am of the believer that the market or the news will do what the market should be doing anyways, just faster. But I've seen it over and over and over over the past many years. So I still don't want to trade it. But without it, man, it's just been not too fun. And there's been so many times also that I see what price should do. Like I have it framed out and it ends up doing it. It's just super ugly in the process of getting there. It's just like, man, this is so bad. Hey, Erlen, how's it going? Exactly, Will. And there's nothing today. I think we have a Fed member this afternoon. Crude oil inventories at 10:30, which obviously doesn't ever do anything to NQ. Tomorrow we have a little bit of stuff, but I'm not gonna be trading tomorrow. I will be here Friday trading. And see if we actually get that CPI report, like they say. So now, here's that minor buy side up here at 306.25 that I'm looking at. Above the London range. So this LL, LM, and right here, you can't see it because it's covering with previous day low, but that's the London, right here's the London low, the London midpoint, and that's the London high. So I like to mark the London range because oftentimes it'll come back into that range. I'm watching this fair value gap right here to see if that becomes an inversion right there under that sell side liquidity. But, I got to be patient to take a trade for sure. So I like this reaction. We dipped right into that daily fair value gap. We hit the high of the inversion, and look at the reaction. I like that. Now, we have to be careful. I have to be careful of a potential stop run, right? As I said yesterday, there's times that it'll come back down and it'll make another stop run and then give you the shift and structure and everything. So But whenever I have a really, really, really good target and I'm like, I know we're going to get up to that target, sometimes this can be enough for me. An inversion and a fair value gap. But with the way the market's been lately, I'm kind of looking for more confirmation. Morning, Benton. Good to see you. So let's see. Let's see if we can get something here. It's my boom boom stick. If y'all watched my NLP video, boom boom stick. If you haven't, you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my video about anchoring with NLP. It's scientific. Not making stuff up. All right, so let's see. We have this inversion. We have this fair value gap. When price comes back into this, I want to see the reaction. We have a good, what's this, 90 points until this minor buy side that I would be targeting. So I'm okay with a potential, like, I don't want to have FOMO, basically, of missing a trade. If it runs away without me, it just has to run away without me. Now, you could go to the 15-second chart, right? Here's an entry right here. But I don't do that. It's not in my bag yet. So I will wait to see if it returns back, because also, as you know, so like when we have created a leg like this, I don't like entering in the higher portions of the leg. I like being below the 50% mark. So if I mark this leg, here's 50% and here's that. Now I could bring it up and just use the bodies because the wick's there, and that gap right there is in the 50% range of that leg. So I'm going to see the reaction here. I might not immediately long it because I want to be patient. I really want it to show me. So if it taps this and just starts going up, then I'd consider a higher one. But I want to see if it's going to try to reach down in here a little bit more. Just because we haven't had a true market structure shift. We haven't created any structure on the lower end or had a shift on the upper side, on the high side. So I definitely want confirmation, because like I said, we saw it even yesterday. It just ripped through takeout stops. Yeah, Ireland, that's what I was talking about. I mean, it's just has not been nice. Hasn't looked nice. Hasn't really acted nice. And it still has ended up, for the most part, doing what it should be doing and going where I'm thinking it's going. Just not good. Not, like it'll start heading, and then it'll run and sweep, just like you said. It'll sweep out stops, sweep some liquidity, and keep going. And it's like, man, I either have to get in at the right place and have a just like at the low almost, and have a nice stop below the low and just let it go and never tighten my stop or anything. Or, otherwise there's been areas where I'm like, okay, this could be good to get in, but man, I need a 60, 70 point stop, and I'm not going to do that. So it's been slow times, but hey, without having any funded accounts right now, maybe that's not a bad thing. Because there is something about having funded accounts. You do feel that little extra pressure that you need to trade them, right? That you got to make money, got to get your trading days and all that. So all right, so now we've rebalanced the 5-minute and this 1-minute fair value gap. Look at the 15-minute. Look at this 15-minute wick. Like, this is really bullish. Ran down, ran through all liquidity, and closed all the way back up here. Like I said, this would be my first target, this minor buy side, 306.25. After that, it's London high, and then maybe even previous day high. Now I can take this leg, well, wherever we decide to stop, and then the body here that created the move to go up, still have this fair value gap that's in the under the 50% mark. If I use the wick, it's a little bit lower right here. So I'm still going to wait. That's probably, let's see. Yeah, this right here is the first presented fair value gap, but then inversion, and then this one. So yeah, I'm just waiting, sitting tight and waiting. Anybody get any trades yesterday, later on? You don't like it today, Chris? I like it. I like it better than all these last days we've had. It's pretty clear to me today. Let's see this right here. If we hold right here, we don't make a lower low any lower, then the next fair value gap I'll probably take along. Otherwise, I want it to come down to here, around this 222, 223 area. And again, at the same time, I'm still not going to immediately long it if it gets down into here. It depends how it gets there. And so the thing is, too, like, as it's going up, when it's going up, it should respect all the down candles. Like, it should not close below down candles if it's going to continue up. But right now, we're still trying to shape out. We're still trying to get our structure together. We're still, you know, in that early time. It's 9:47, 9:48 now. Make sure my screen is showing it. Yeah. You see the time at the top there. So just be patient. Patience. Shadow, what's up, Shadow? I didn't see you. And see, this is where I ignore some fair value gaps. Like the 15-minute fair value gap the SIBI we just pulled into right here. I think we're going to invert it. This one here. We pulled into it, and yeah, it respected the midpoint of it, but everything is looking like we should with the higher time frames, with the daily, with how the reaction down here to the sell side. I think we're going to go up through it. Now, again, like I said, if this respects this down candle right here, and we go up and have it create another fair value gap, another BISI, I'm probably going to long it. Because this is telling me that now we're creating the structure. We may not need to come back down to this fair value gap. This could be a breakaway gap. But we'll see. It's not there yet. We did just create a 5-minute fair value gap right here as well. busy with this low. Right there. Let's see. Yep. See how we respected it? We respected that down close candle. Now we're pushing up. Now we technically have a market structure shift. Your traditional pattern, right? Where you have the high, low, make a higher high. So now we'll see if we get a fair value gap here. And if we're going to continue up to this high, we should not take this low, swing low right here. So I'm just going to kind of get a quick measurement. That'd be about a 36-point stop. And roughly to that high, about 32 points. London high, you got about 65 points. And this would actually be what you call a propulsion block right there. Nice. A lot of people are doing really well with gold. All right, let me see if we hit this fair value gap here. And it could go a little bit lower, so you have to expect that. I'm about to go long in this little fair value gap here. If price can come back into it some. Oh, there we go. My stop is underneath this swing low. And 269. I'm at 269. Just going to aim for this minor buy side liquidity here. It's not a huge trade. It's about 30. What's that? 35, 36 points. Low hanging fruit. It should keep going higher, but y'all know I just go for my low hanging fruit targets. Yeah, a lot of people are doing good on gold right now because gold is very directional for the moment. So just keep that in mind that there's a lot of it's called quantitative easing. If you're not familiar with that term, it's basically where you inflate and create fake pricing, and they're doing that with gold, and they've literally said they're doing it with gold. So just keep in mind that's not going to last forever, and then it'll become really, really, really choppy. So how long they continue to do that for, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, price could come back down a little bit into. That's why, like, knowing how price action should work, because nothing's guaranteed, right? You can stay patient and relaxed in a trade. Like, I know I have to expect price could trade all the way down into this area. Inside these three down closed candles here. So when price does this, like, it went up, it's like, oh yeah, it's looking good. And when it starts coming down, like, I'm okay with that. That's why I have my stop right here, because this is what would invalidate a trade for me. If we came down, really if it closed below it, but even if it like wicks and goes up, I don't care. I want out of it, because it really shouldn't come all the way down here. And if it does, I want out. And if it doesn't, it could come down anywhere in this area. As long as it doesn't take this low, I'm perfectly fine, and we should continue up. So right now, with the way price has been, I don't trust anything very much. So, but you can look for signals. So like, it really shouldn't have closed down here, but it's okay if it does. Until it takes this low, I really don't care what it does, to be honest. Like, it can come down, it could trade in here, and that's fine. Until it takes this low, and that's literally why you use a stop loss, right? To get out, stop your loss, and get out at an invalidation point. So, and when you have proper money management, it's easy to sit in trades. It's easy to sit here, even if it starts going against you. If it loses, it loses. I was perfectly, okay with it. But if you come in and know the expectation, it could trade anywhere in this area, you're okay. And if it goes lower, you want out. That's it. That's simple. Otherwise, wait for it to go up and hit your target. As long as you have a good enough target. That's why targets are really, really important. You got to have a good enough target. Doesn't mean you're always going to be right, but that's the best we can do. And it's 9:59 now, so we're going to probably get that volatility spike here in the next minute. So now it's doing it really. This is not really what you want to see it do, but like I said, I still have my invalidation point here. And it very well, it could want to trade down to this lower fair value gap, but we'll see. Obviously, I can't have a bigger stop. Like, that's way too big to put it at that low. So you have a choice. Wait. Get in here where I got in this area, expecting a price higher, and it shouldn't trade lower, or wait to see if it does trade way down here and then get in there. But for me, I don't. This is the trade that I'm good with. Will's been chatting in here. All right, it's 10 o'clock. See what happens. Hopefully it doesn't wick down and take me out before heading up. I still think we're going to head up. Let's see. Get rid of this. It was in the way there. It's just price action has just been so bad lately. Now, if we make a new high, this high, we should not come back down below these, or this low now, if we can make a new high. And that's the way I'd look at it, because you got these two down candles. And once we close above them, it should respect those if it's going to continue higher. And that's a way to kind of look at price and remain calm. Yeah, Chris is blind. And I really do see this going up to that London high, but the way price has been lately, I'm like, if I can grab my 35 points, my low-hanging fruit, I'm good with that. Because it's been rough lately with price action. And you know me, I personally don't like to sit in trades for 30 minutes or an hour. Like let's go. I like to win or lose fast. So lately, some of these trades would have taken, if I would have sat through them, they would have taken like an hour or more. Yeah, it's that number one crown. He doesn't see anybody else now. Is that what it is, Chris? You don't see anybody else sitting at the top? All right, we're in this little fair value gap right here. I prefer it not to come down below this swing low, but it is definitely allowed. I'd prefer that not to happen because that wouldn't be good. See, now it shouldn't really be doing this. I want to see an immediate rebalance here. Otherwise, yeah, it's not looking good. Again. See, and it's just being stubborn. Man, it's being stubborn. And like I said, we did have that 15-minute fair value gap there. So it will cause turbulence. Even though I think it should trade through it, it very likely could cause some trouble. And it could create a little pushback before going up. But we'll see. We're having a little bit of an accumulation going on here, but we created this little fair value gap, so I want to see that one get pushed up and inverted. I really wanted to see an immediate rebalance to not leave it there, so we'll see. Whatever happens on it. Just getting stuck in these ugly price action trades that take a long time. Yes, Jennifer. I do have a video on that. You just have to. It was made a little while back, so you probably have to scroll down quite a bit. But yeah, I made a good video on that. Yeah, this shouldn't be coming down here. I mean, until it hits that swing and knocks me out, the trade's still live, but it shouldn't be coming down like this. So now, until we invert this little 1 minute gap, my expectation is not very high on this. So we'll see. And I do that. Like I'm constantly evaluating my trade and seeing price action, like I said yesterday, because that way that helps me not like get emotional towards it. Because once I start seeing action that says, yeah, we really shouldn't be doing this, Like, it's still allowed because that's why I have my stop here, but it really shouldn't be doing this. Left this little fair value gap. All right, my expectation is very low on it now until if we can invert this little fair value gap and start taking some highs again, then I'll think, I'll increase my probability of it winning. But until then, as of now, my win expectation is pretty low on it. That's kind of how I look at it. That way, if it does lose, then I'm not like panicking or freaking out like, man, I wish I would have won. Blah, blah, blah. It's just another loss. Unfortunately, my first 3 streams back, 2 out of 3 might be losers. I mean, this trade's not over yet, but as I said, my expectation is very low on it as of right this second. Yeah, it's respecting the mid of that 15-minute fair value gap. Like I said, I still think it's going to go through it, but it could cause price to push back a little harder than what my stop might allow. So that's the downfall. And that's the risk, right? Like, nothing's guaranteed. I either risk it or I don't. So this little fair value gap, like I said, until this becomes an inversion and until we start taking another a high, my expectation is low. Even if it's giving me these little hopeful pushes up right now, I still don't have a high expectation until those 2 things happen. That little inversion and it starts taking these swing highs. And doing that, I mean, nobody likes to sit in trades forever, but doing that actually lets me be relaxed. Like, I'm not even touching my mouse or anything right now. Just let it go. Risk it for a biscuit. Yeah, I've heard that. Oh, man. You can't have old biscuits, Chris. They got to be fresh. Do y'all ever see that where if like you're in the heat for a while and then price comes back, and I'm just pointing this out, it comes back and taps your order entry, and then it's like your order entry becomes resistance. I'm like, come on. And it sits there and keeps hitting your entry, and then it's like, nope, we're not going to go into profit for you. Like, come on, market. Quit messing with me like that. Look at it. It's going to sit there and keep tapping my entry. Right to my entry. And I'm always like, is my entry, like what's going on with my entry at times? I only have 1 mini. I'm not really liquidity. Come on now. Yeah, that one used to bother me, Chris, where it hits my stop and then keeps going, but that doesn't bother me at all anymore because I know my stop is there for a reason. If it hits my stop, then I don't care. I want out. Even if it just wicks down and taps it and keeps going, I don't care. It's not a good trade. All right, here's the moment of truth. If we take this low now, I'm done. This trade's going to lose. It tapped my entry, and if it comes down and takes this low, that's game over for today. See what I mean? It hit my entry, and it said, yeah, we want to give you a little hope. But that's why I say I keep my expectation low. Market can't trick me. Keep my expectation low until we invert that fair value gap, which we did, but we did not take any of those swing highs. Now we're looking like it's looking like it wants to shift down based on these swing highs. but we'll see. I have like probably a 2% faith in this trade. There we go. We're going to come down to this fair value gap now, down here. Right there where I originally kind of wanted it to come down to. But with the structure, it looked like we were going to keep going. Obviously not. It wants to pull back. Hasn't hit my stop yet, but now, I mean, more than likely we're going to hit my stop. And that's right where a 5-minute fair value gap is. So it's probably going to come down, take me out, and then eventually keep going up. It happens. And out. There we go. Didn't go. So right here is probably where it might go down to before it keeps going. If it does, could have waited for that, or, you know, whatever. But this trade is a trade. Oh crap, I hit the wrong button. Okay. It's a trade that I will take based on the structure and everything I know. It works the majority of the time. So that's why it doesn't bother me at all to lose. You're wishing that into existence. I don't wish nothing. I don't wish nothing, Chris. I play the probabilities. I win the long game. Yeah, that's it. That's it. See, one trade, one and done. It didn't work out. Hit this midpoint. Structure didn't hold up, and this is what I'm talking about. Like that 15-minute fair value gap did hold and create enough turbulence for it to pull back down. I still don't think we're gonna just keep running down. We might, but I think now at this point, this is the fair value gap. This area here we may come down to, and then continue up from there potentially, but we'll see. Maybe not. It ran these highs, and it just failed. Got right up here into this volume imbalance, and just failed from there. So it is what it is. I'll get some wins. They win. Like I said, I mean, if for those of you that have been around, y'all know I average about a 60% win rate lifetime. So that means 40% of the time I'm going to lose. Just the way it is. I win in the long run. That's why, like yesterday I was talking about, I don't do these short competitions, because if it's a week long or a few days long, like that 40% lose rate could be 3 of those days. And I have no chance in such a short competition. If it's 3 months, 6 months, a long game, yeah, I'd love to do those, because that's where I win in the long game. Yeah, that's and what I do on stream, that's all I do. So like off stream, I'm not going and trading and trying to make my accounts look better. So y'all see though, once I get, yeah, look, completely disrespecting that fair value gap. Looks like we do want to go lower into that daily fair value gap. And see, like I said, I'll take that trade any day of the week. Sweeping yesterday's low into the daily fair value gap, and the reaction we had from there, right here, this reaction of just coming right back up, I really didn't think we were going to come back down. But, hey, it is what it is. And now we may be creating our structure now. If we come down and we get a failure swing right here, staying inside this fair value gap, inside this inversion of the first presented fair value gap, that could be where we start making our way up. But maybe. At this point, that's what I mean. I frame out everything. I look for something specific. And if it happens, it happens. If not, afterwards, I really don't care what happens. That's it. Like, I'm done. That's why I don't go trying to take multiple trades, because, like I said yesterday, it's either me, the market, or both. And from there, I just got to go back and review in the evening and see if I missed anything. As of right now, like, I still would take this trade in most cases to go up through my minor buy side liquidity. But yeah, so y'all see too, when I start getting these PA accounts again, I'll show the journey of those. Because like the last PAs, for those of you that knew, like I had like 250 trading days on them and over a year. So never blew them, never like blow and go, rotate PAs like, most people do. I basically use them, spent under $3,000 for them, withdrew almost 110 grand from them. So, hey, that's good to me. That's good. So, just got to remember that trading is won in the long game, not on the day to day. You out of PAs as well right now, Shadow? Yeah, it's all good. Mine are rotating. My evals, they'll be back. Then we just gotta wait. I gotta wait and see what and when, what type of sell we get and when for PAs. If we get another PA sell, hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, we don't have one before I'm ready. For those of you that need some PAs now and want to sell, I'm sorry. Apex needs to wait until I'm ready. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. Yeah, see, look at that. And this was completely a potential, like I mentioned, this could happen. Could come down into this one, into this area, and then go. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. It's up to you, or me, I guess, whether I want to risk it and continue, or wait and see if we do get that pullback down into here. With the structure that happened up here, I thought we definitely were just going to leave this open as a breakaway gap and run up to that buy side liquidity. But that's what I was saying while I was in the trade. The way this price action has been, man, that's why I don't want to sit in trades for too long, or like aim for targets too far, because this type of stuff can happen. And if you look yesterday, all day yesterday, it was pretty ugly. It was pretty ugly for the whole day. It ended up getting to where I thought it was going to go, but man, it was not good. There's no way I would have been able to hold it without getting stopped out. So, Tony, I like the 150Ks, my favorite, the 150Ks. That's because you get a $5,000 drawdown, and I mean, so I trade all the PAs the exact same way. Once I'm in PA, the only difference is evals, right? Because evals, the bigger the size, the larger the account, you have to have more of a target, right? But once you're in PA, once you're funded, it's all the same. So like your drawdown to profit threshold is a 1-to-1. So I trade them the exact same. I just use different contract sizing, but it's all the exact same to me. But I like the 150Ks because if I trade the 50Ks, I typically have to start off pretty small. And yeah, I get to pay out the same time as I would with a 150K or a 300K, but with the 150, I can build a buffer better, and I can, the payouts are going to be higher as well, because if I get to payout threshold on a 50K, I'll probably only take out $500 just because I like to leave a buffer in there. But on a 150K, I can consistently take out $1,000 and still have plenty of room in there. Because if I get to say like 156, 500, I could take out $1,000 and 8 trading days later, I'm right back at payout again. But I'm still taking out $1,000 per account versus, let's say, 500. Obviously, you could do the same thing on a 300K. It's just a 300K is harder to get funded because you got to get that $20,000 profit. A 150K I found is a very good medium because you do need $9,000 of profit for the eval, but I've found that to not be too hard because I do go very aggressive on my evals. So evals I will blow. I will blow evals. I just don't blow PAs. Yeah, I've passed both 250Ks and 300s, but I blow a lot of them before I pass them because like I said, I go aggressive, go very, very aggressive on them. I'll play news on them. I try to catch moves. So because I have the discipline to shift it when I'm in a PA. Not everybody has that. That's why I don't recommend people do crazy stuff to get funded because that usually carries over to when you're funded, because a lot of people don't understand. I'm telling y'all, and Chris can vouch how much I talk about your subconscious mind. I've done so much learning on the brain and the mind and the conscious mind, your subconscious. People don't understand how many habits are built and unrealized. Like, you don't realize you're building those habits. And when people get crazy in evals, it in that subconscious mind will remember that. So that way, whenever you're in a funded account and you have a loss, as soon as something triggers, that's why you got to watch that video that I was talking about with NLP and anchoring. As soon as something triggers, man, that subconscious will say, well, this worked before when you got funded, and boom, you're done. Yeah. Yeah, but see, that's also why I don't take another trade. Because look, I can sit here and say, oh, well, maybe this is what should happen. Like, again, my thing is, if I lose on a trade, it's either the market, me, or both. And if it's any of those, why do I want to take another trade immediately after I just took one? So if I took a loss and I'm sitting here saying it's either the market, me, or both, well, if it's the market, why would I want to take another trade? If it's me, that means I got it wrong. Why would I want to take another trade? If it's both, definitely why would I want to take another trade? Like, I could say, oh, well, okay, it's not going to go long. Let me just go ahead and go short because that was my other option that will probably go down into the fair value gap a little further. Well, then I take a short, and then it turns around and says, no, it is going to go to my buy side. And then I get a loss on the short, and then guess what? Now I'm sitting here saying, okay, it's definitely going to go to the buy side now. And then that's how people get chopped up. So that's why I take one trade. I mean, I get it. Not everybody has to follow that, but that's why I do it. Anyways, all right, y'all. I'm going to hop off here. That's it for me. Y'all know I keep the streams pretty short and sweet. Once I'm done trading, there's not too much else for me. I can sit here and try to read price action the rest of the day, but once it's outside of my trade, it's because I saw something. I saw a framework. I took it. It either worked or it didn't. I think I'm going to do those giveaways on Monday, though. So I'm going to kind of put those in my Facebook group and mention it. I'm going to give away 5 evals on Monday. So I'll do that. It'll just be a simple drawing here in the YouTube channel. So, yep, be on the lookout for that. 5 people will be selected. And then I will need emails from those people so I can send the code. So, all right, y'all. Hopefully, I won't be here. Remember, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be here Friday. So, hey, let's see if we can get a win on Friday. All right. Well, y'all have a good rest of your day. And as always, trade well, everybody. Take care.